Hello Virgo, welcome to your July 2018 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Virgo. And before we get into this, let's go ahead, check in with the body, see what's going on a physical level today. Are you having any anxiety? Do you have any tension? Just check in with yourself. Feel into that, see what's going on. If there's anything that you want to come up today or any answers that you need, just set your intention for the reading. Breathe into the diaphragm, get grounded, focus on the soles of your feet. That also helps just to be present for the reading. Okay, and I do have another YouTube channel, which I will be talking about at the end. So if you would like some more resources and goodies like that, stay tuned until then. And in other news, let's get started. The empowering question for you this month is, how would I want people to remember me when I'm no longer here? So this is about what impression are you making? What do you want your legacy to be? This is really about how you want to make people feel. And if that's the focus, the way that you make decisions and the way that you move through the world is going to be a lot clearer. Now, the other fairy card that I have is inspiration. Be open to a world of endless possibilities. I like this because, you know, there are so many exceptions to the rule, and there are so many things that can change, and, you know, opportunities that can come up, or, you know, like a great example that comes to mind when I'm seeing this is, oh, it's so expensive to live in that area, and then finding a place that's within your budget or reasonably priced. Those things happen all the time. So remember, there are infinite possibilities, there are infinite potential opportunities at your fingertips, and it's gonna serve you to remember that this month. The word of the month for you is foundation. Lay the concrete first. Establish patterns, create coherency and stability. Know that you deserve sustainability and allow it in. My favorite part of this is establish patterns. That's very much a Virgo thing. So if you don't already have a routine going, I think that July is going to be a really great time and space to cultivate that. However you want that to happen, it's just going to be a good time to lay down that consistent behavior in July. The central energy for Virgo is Four of Wands. Yep, this is being grounded, invested in the home. This also has to do with relationships that are, how do I put this? Not familial exclusively, but this has to do with really how you feel nurtured, how you feel taken care of. All of those themes are going to be coming up this month. So I really like the idea of you focusing on nesting and making sure that you are feeling really good in your living space. That's going to be really important for you this month, especially when it comes to your personal health, the relationships and the manifestations that you want to come in. You want to make sure that you have your home dialed in. Now, this is what's in your highest good to release in the month of July, the Fool. Let me clarify this because, you know, the Fool is about a fresh start. So let's see what else is coming up to clarify that. What are you releasing? Queen of Hats. This is equivalent to the Queen of Cups. I think that there's actually some type of grounding happening. So maybe you were setting off on a new emotional journey or a new emotional process, because it has something to do with your emotions and your personal sense of stability. This is also why you have foundation and the Four of Wands. July is a month of stability for you. And because of that, it seems like the emotional component, the emotional piece of your life kind of needed a revamp in either sometime before July. So that is actually shifting out. I don't think that this is actually something you need to intentionally release. I think that this is something that's going to organically phase out. It hasn't been that way for any other sign, but for you, it really looks like this is an organic thing that's happening. So there is a deep sense of maturation is the word that's coming up with this, is you're shifting that out and you're coming into a point of stability both physically and emotionally. And what is in your highest good to manifest? We have the Five of Swords. I'm going to clarify this as well. This could easily be resolution, clarity, problem solving, but let me see what else is coming up. What are you manifesting? The Hermit. Okay. This is an interesting combination right here. I think that there is, oh gosh, it looks like an answer. It looks like resolution. So think about that for a second. What answer do you need? Where do you need clarity? Where do you feel like you could really use some answers, some insights, some more information on whatever's going on? This is going, I'm hoping that this isn't shaking too much. This is going to be the month in which you are able to cultivate those answers, and that's through your stability. So this actually looks like a resolution to a conflict. It looks like something where you are, oh, how do I put this? Okay, so look at, I hope this makes sense. I'm trying to gather my thoughts and listen to what's coming through. So this is old news. This conflict, this issue, this pattern, this thing that's been a cycle for you is wrapping up. And so part of the manifestation piece is the insight that you need in order to get that resolution. So it's all about answers for you this month. And I think part of that is going to come from staying open-minded, being open to the different possibilities. Like we have the inspiration card here that's reminding you of that. And the foundation card is tying into this because it's showing that this is actually small stuff. In the long term, in the big picture, focusing on the macro, this is peanuts relative to really at the end of the day what you're going to be coming into, not problem wise, but just in the grand scope of your life. Whatever is being resolved this month is actually going to it's going to shift out really quickly. And so if you can just manifest a little bit of comfort, confidence, and resolution here, it looks like you're going to have a pretty clean slate for you to build whatever it is you're looking to cultivate on top of this. So again, you're building that foundation, you're making sure that things are in tip-top shape, essentially. And so this is just a minor thing that you need to resolve to get off your plate. And then this is your external circumstances. We have the Four of Chalices. This is a really odd reading, if I do say so. Because it's speaking to a lot of old stuff. That none of this is new. None of this looks like it's really breaking the mold or anything. This is actually resolution of a lot of the old things that you've been working towards. So let me see. Or that you've been working through. Justice. Okay. It looks like you actually are going to have a pretty balanced insight around what's going on. I think that Four of Chalices is referring to your impatience. There might be something that is still building and percolating, especially because we have so many foundation cards showing up. This one as well as a foundation card. And because of that, I think that the external circumstances or the external environment is reflecting more of you wanting things to move faster, but you're doing so much of the back end work that this really isn't feasible at this point in time, or it's not realistic. So just let yourself have a more balanced outlook on that so that you can feel into your own patience and everything. That's going to be a useful skill for you this month. And this is what's happening internally. Ace of Swords. I think that you are able to effectively look at things in a new way. This is about a change in perspective, like a new idea, a new way of seeing something, and the inspiration card goes along with this really nicely. So I think that this is a true shift in the way you're looking at something, a true shift in the way you think, in the way you problem solve, in the way you deal with your external circumstances. There's only so many things that you can control, and there's only so many things that you can do to prepare, or to, there's only so many things you can do to make a relationship work. There's only so many things you can do. You know, you can't control other people's actions. And so this looks like you really come in to see where you feel most powerful, where you feel you do have the most control and you can make the most impact. Okay, moving into the timeline, we have first quarter, second, third, and fourth quarter. So starting off the month of July, you have the Five of Bells. This is the same card, Five of Swords. So this is kind of where you see what needs resolution, what you get to stare it in the face. Like what exactly needs to be, what needs to shift, what needs to change, what do I need to release? And just resolve. So I think it makes an appearance at the beginning of July, and then the second quarter we have the Nine of Vials. This is the Make-A-Wish card. Okay, so you can make a wish right now. You can focus on what you want. You can, meditate after this. Whatever your process is with manifestation, it looks like this is going to be extra potent right here because it's about wishes being fulfilled. So this has to do with if you aren't actively doing something and setting the intention for what you want, then it's time to start. And if you are, then it could easily make an appearance second quarter of July, second week-ish of July. So keep your eyes peeled for that because this looks like things greatly, greatly improve. Like whatever you're worried about, whatever this stress is resolved. Like it is going your way. So you need to remember, show gratitude for the manifestation before it even makes its way to you, before it shows up. You want to lead with gratitude, lead with an open heart and an open mind, and it really is going to turn in your favor. Quarter 3, Seven of Tomes. This is about casting a wide net. What I mean by that is it's about diversification. It's also going to be a really expansive time, third quarter. I think you're trying new things. This looks like you're really pushing yourself to do things differently because if you can see, this is a reference to study. And this is really about the application of those studies. How are you actually integrating all of the things that you've learned? How are you integrating and operating now that you know what you need to change and what you need to adjust and what's resolving? So I think that this is where the application begins. And then wrapping up the month of July, you have the Eight of Tomes. So this is the Eight of Pentacles. This is the hard work. I think you really, this is not surprising at all for Virgo, but you really are able to see what it is that you're building, what all of this has been, it's not a wasted effort. You really begin to feel more inspired like we have here, but it's for a specific means. So you really begin to see what that is in the second week, second quarter, and then it just motivates you to keep working on it. So there's some payoff here. I think you're a little bit, not down in the dumps, but feeling a lack, feeling frustrated, feeling kind of burnt out with this in the beginning, and then it's just a total ascension throughout the rest of the month. It looks like it gets progressively better. That's why you're able to put more work in by the end of the month. All right, 3-card pick. You are welcome to pick 1, 2, 3 cards. Pick before or after I flip them over, whatever you'd like. Ask a question. Tune in. Okay, so card number 1, we have feeling and form. So this is a reference to the manifestation process. This has been wanting to make an appearance quite a bit. So feeling and form is about your internal state manifesting in the physical. I forget if you picked this card in another reading, this is going to be 2 or 3 times as potent for you, because it really is about where are you setting your intention, what are you asking for, what are you leading with. Think about what essentially, what vibration are you looking to manifest or connect with at this time? It really seems that if you tune the internal, you're going to see a large manifestation in the external. Okay, card number 2, we have opportunity. So it looks like there is... like you get a chance at something, you get an opportunity for something, you get, it really looks like a chance, like almost like a work sample is coming up, like you get the opportunity to test something out or explore something, because it does look a little bit more fluid. Usually when I read this card, it looks very concrete. The message that's coming through here is that this is really fluid in what's going on. So it's a little bit more open-ended here. Or abstract, I should say. Okay, and card number 3, we have higher knowledge. Pay attention to your intuition this month. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings and whatever else is coming through in terms of, your intuitive hits are going to be a big deal. And remember that there is information in your past for you that is either helping you or it's reflecting back to you where your pain points are or what you're manifesting in the physical. So remember, look at all parts of yourself in order to get a full picture of what's going on and what all of this means, and to come to your own conclusions and your own answers. So this looks good. I just think that overall for this reading, at the end of the day, you're going to be okay, right? There's nothing that you can't overcome. It's not doom and gloom. You guys know that's not how I read. But what I will say is that this is really about working through temperament this month. It really, really is. You have, the tantrumy 4 of Cups. You have, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Hats, which is a little bit more on the emotional side and the fussy side as well. So I think that this is all your personal resistance to whatever's going on around you. And this month is going to be about resolving that and figuring out how to make things work for you so that this, you don't have to feel so resistant. You don't have to feel so, ungrounded, which is really hard for Virgos to feel ungrounded. It's crazy making for Virgos. So, in other news, that's all I have for the reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. And don't forget, if you want to work with me one-on-one, all of the info is in the lovely description box below. And I have started a second YouTube channel, which is going to be for more of the psychic, intuitive stuff that I have going on. I'm hoping that it's going to become a place where I can talk with you guys and give you resources about intuition, mental health, physical health, all of those things that are very important to me. And so it's going to be a little bit more fluid and lifestyle based. And so I know that there's a lot of highly sensitive people who are looking for resources, and I'm hoping that I can do that for all of you. So check that out. I will link it in the description and put it up in one of the boxes. And I think that's it. I think that's all I have for you. Until next time, I hope you have a beautiful July, Virgo, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.